Hello guys, you got the right place to understand how to trade with Ichimoku, and even just to understand what is the Ichimoku, because of course it looks very confusing at first when you open it and you see all these lines. It's like, wow, it's overwhelming, but it's not difficult, and more you trade with it, better you become, and you can become a very good and very successful trader just using the Ichimoku, maybe plus a MACD, and sometimes looking at your RSI 14. But let's look into it and see what is all of this. What is it for? What is it used for? And etc. etc. So I want to show you first this blue green. On my screen it's blue. It's called the Tenkan. I think by default it might be actually green. I just put it on the different way. But the Tenkan is also called the conversion line. So I'm opening this Ichimoku tool here. You can see it's this one, conversion line. It's based on 9 period price midpoint. So it's like it's a short-term indicator. To be clear, it's a short-term indicator. So we are usually very close to it. So you can see that's our chart. All our candles are followed by our Tenkan. It's very close to it because just based on 9 period. So that's the first things to look at. We look at our Kijun here. So it's green. It's also called a baseline. All right. The Kijun though is based on 26 period, and so basically it's a medium term price momentum. Momentum. My French is pretty strong. My accent is strong, so sorry if you don't understand everything, but you still can click on the button for like the subtitles. You will. I think it works pretty well. I was surprised. Anyway, so this one, it's why it's way away from it. So even with the same data, you're gonna see our Tenkan way on a way different place than our Kijun. Just because one is on a short trend, short period, and this one is on a mid period. So that's the first things we can see. Then we can see our cloud. So what is this cloud? I know that many of you will watch videos where people telling you we look at the cloud and it tells us if we need to take a long or short position. And people will tell you if you are inside the cloud, don't touch it, don't do anything. It's the worst period of time to take any action. This is not true. You don't need to be limited of the way of your trend of your trades, based on the cloud. The cloud doesn't mean you have to take short or long. This is not true. But the cloud though has a kind of act like a support. It helps us to go up or down or to drag and down. So it's important to look at it. It's called a kumo in Japanese, and we see this green line here. The green line is called a SSA, or you can call it a Senku Span A. I know it's complicated, but it's not a big deal if you don't remember the name. But it's a SSA, and the red line is a SSB, the Senku Span B. This line have a different way to be calculated. So we got this line here, this line, the SSA, that is based on 26 period in the future. All right, it gives you 26 period in the future. So here is 26 period in the future. If you can use this tool here, it's called date range. I can go from here to here, and I should have 26 bar, except it should be 26 here. But our cloud here should be based on the previous candle. So there is something wrong with trading view, at least. So you always go to your input here, and displacement, you have to put it at 27. If you put it at 26, something gonna be wrong. We're gonna have only 25 bar. So you need to put it at 27. It's just something you need to know. If you don't understand why, don't bother. Just put it. All right. So we got this cloud here, and we got the SSB. That is basically 52 period high plus 52 period low divided by 2. Okay. So that's our cloud. We got this lagging span here, and you will also read and listen to people telling you this has no any importance. You can even ignore it. Definitely not, guys. Don't ignore the lagging span. It's one of the most interesting tool ever. It's based 26 period behind, okay, and it's actually kind of indicating us the sense, the direction of our trend and our resistance. So it can actually spot resistances before it happens. So if I do a quick trend line here, let's see if it matches. I haven't been on this Tesla before, so you know what, it's new. Up, we got a trend line here. Okay, cool. Let's go another trend line that we got here. It's important that you study how to trace trend line, guys, because you will need them all the time. So very important that you know how to do, and that's the basics. But let's say you know already, and so you are into the Ichimoku. We can see here, for example, we can clearly see that our lagging has been resisting here. You can see we cross over, and then we back down here, and we testing it 1 time, 2 times, kind of almost 3 times here, but then rejected. At the moment, it's rejected, so it's not going through. So look at our trend here, it's going also like this. So we can expect when we look at our lagging that we're going to have some resistance. And that's happened, the resistance, in our current chart, because it's telling us it's from it's 26 period behind. So I'm going here to here. You can see I'm here. But look where I was here. When we cross over here, at that place here, we were here on the 2nd of August. And that's when we could expect to see a resistance, to see something happening, to see a reverse of the price, to see a downtrend again. And we have this resistance coming here. We start to play, so we are not moving here. You can see it's quite flat here. So we're not moving, we're not taking any decision. We got this low here, okay, that went way down here. Why it stopped here? Maybe because there is a resistance. Yeah, it matched here. It matched with these 2 resistance. It crossed over here. So we have a resistance just here. So that all match. So that's important to look at the lagging, because the lagging is gonna tell you, okay, am I going to go even more bearish, or is it going to go even more bullish? How the trend looks like. So at the moment we flat here, all right, but we want to know if we are in a uptrend. We can quickly look at the lagging and say not yet, until we break above here. We're not going to push even higher. We need to break this resistance. So the lagging is important. Okay. Sorry. What do we need? What else we need to know? We need to know that this Kijun here, which we call, I will open it up, the baseline. Okay, this is important because when we get around here, it's when things happen, when there is a lot of argument, when people start to get excited, they start to buy more or even to sell more. So we got a very big support from this line, and it's important because that tells us where the price might head and where the price might be stuck. So if I'm taking a short position right now based on a 4 hours time frame, I'd enter about my 10 can, and I would stop take my profit at the Kijun. And maybe my stop loss is at the resistance a bit above, because we can see we break above sometime, but we still don't enter, so a bit above. And I've got a risk ratio of 1.48, not too bad. So it's quite important to look at, that's why we look at this Tenkan and Kijun to take decision of where we're taking our trade. Is it going to be where we're taking our profit? And we know clearly that it's here. What I could do here also, quickly looking at my Kijun and Tenkan, I can say, okay, my Tenkan is here. So what I'm gonna do is only, I saw we had a low here. If we go low again, it's probably going to be, yes, a pretty clear bearish trend. So I might take just under here. So if my price go lower than this, than 700, then I'm gonna have opened my position and take my profit at 678. For my stop loss, I will put it above this one, and we'll see what's going on. So that could be another way to trade. But since we're here now, and we had a green candle, okay, we got a doji candle forming here so far, but it's 4 hours, so let's see what will happen when we close it. But we could take a long trend, and I could say, okay, if I go above this one, if I close above, I'm gonna be really on a uptrend, so on a bullish trend. So I'm gonna take my profit around here. If I'm from here I'm gonna be here. If it happens here, I will go be at above, etc., etc. But that's where I will take my profit. So if I'm going above here, I enter the trade on a long trade, and my stop loss I'm gonna place it here, and I get a 1.404 risk ratio. Not too good, but not too bad. It's mid, half. But that's a way to trade. Let me go on a lower time frame so we can see better with the cloud. So my cloud now is adapted to my 1 hour time frame, and you can see that we got here. That's interesting that we look at this. We got our 10 can, our Kijun that crossed down our 10 can, and when it does that, we go bearish, okay? But then we got away from it. You see they were away from each other, and now we're getting close. So this 10 can could cross over now our Kijun, and the uptrend is starting, which is another element which is kind of possibly happening, because look at our cloud here. Our cloud is doing like a sort of resistance. It's not too flat, so it's not that super resistant, and it's very large. I must say. So when it's large, if we enter it, we can cross in between, like all the way down, all the way. But that doesn't stop you to take any trade. Actually, you should take trade. We should take, because if we start to get in properly, we do short. We can short a lot. There is many places to play. So we can see that at this point here, we totally stop here, and that was on the Friday. And then boom, we go up on the Monday. So we didn't enter our cloud. So we've been testing it. Rejected. Boom, we got a rejection, and straight up we go above our Kijun. So that Kijun and even 10 can, but we are now above everything and not touching it. So we're still not deciding what's going on. It's very flat here, so there is nothing happening at the moment. That's why here our cloud is very flat too, right? Open and large and flat, because nothing happened. However, seeing this, I can expect us to go and fly above it. Why? Because we got it. We tried to get in here. We didn't. I got a rejection. So okay, maybe we're gonna go and test it again at 710 somehow at 12:30 in New York time. But we gonna be pushed. It seems like we're not getting it. What about our laggings then? The lagging has started to push inside this candle. Now, if you go on a higher time frame, you will see all the green candle or massive even red candle is going to block very much our lagging, because it's more resistant. On a 1 hour time frame, of course, the candle is lower. It looks big, but it's smaller than on the 4 hours, and so it creates less resistance. So we get into at that point. However, it still do have some importance. We still can have some resistance because of this one. We got our 10 can here just under it, so it might just cross above, and that be obviously easier for the lagging to cross above, because all we have to do is to cross this candle, then we are above. But if we go down, where are we going? We're gonna cross this 10 can. That's a quite big resistance, and we will be stuck with this. We'll be stuck with between all of this area, between our candle plus our Kijun. So it's more difficult for us. It will be more difficult for us to enter through the bottom than going above it and just fly above. So I've got kind of some indication that's on a 1 hour time frame. I might go on a bullish trend very soon because of this area. So that's why we look at it. Let me go on a 4 hours time frame. No, let me go on a 1 day. Nothing to see. Very far away from 10 can Kijun. On a weekly, we have we're still far from everything, so there's not much to say. I'm gonna keep up because some people are still interested to know more. So I'm going to go on Ethereum. Let's do XRP. Hey up, we go on the XRP. Remember, guys, when you use the Ichimoku, you don't have to change anything inside it except the displacement to 27. You can use it on every time frame. It works. Even on a 5-minute time frame for short trades, you can do it. It does work. It's insane, I know, but it does work. We are on a daily. What I can see here, lagging. That's the first things I'm looking at because that come to my eyes here. It pops into my eyes. I can see I'm getting too close to the cloud. It's going to create some resistance, but it's not flat on a horizontal line. Like here on the SSB, it's very flat. Very hard to get out if we start to have our chart inside it, or even our lagging harder once it's around this area. We get out easier if we are here already because nothing above. But to enter it, yes, it's still possible. So our lagging could enter, but also be stuck. So we know tomorrow where we will be. Are we going to be just on it and then we start to go down, down, down? That's something we will know after today. So we need to close this candle. So I got this. I can see on my chart here that I went above my my cloud from the SSB, which is very flat, so it's a lot of resistance. So we cross above a big resistance. So it kind of shows that yeah, we are on a bullish trend. But we also touch it here for today. At least we are still touching with a long leg our SSB. I want to see this candle above the SSB, but not touching it anymore. Once we don't touch it anymore, if I look at a daily, I can see quickly without tracing any trend line or price support, etc. I can see where it will head. I have one area of resistance that's gonna be here, my SSB from my cloud. So if I have a resistance, gonna be at 1,000 at $1.10. That's one of them. Let me trace some resistance. Up, we got one resistance here. I draw it. I'm gonna have another one clear here. Up at 120. Boom, and another one here, just based on the Ichimoku cloud. You see. Of course, I'm on a daily, so it looks a bit messy now, but when we zoom in on a 4 hours time frame, we can't see much of them. So you better trace your trend line and resistance on a larger time frame. So at that point, you get less messy by the end. I can also remove the Ichi and just trace some trend line. Look at what we have here. We can see we got one on bottom, so we got this one here to here, and we are on it. We are on this resistance, so that's interesting to have it. Now I turn back my Ichimoku, I get here, and I can see where is my resistance. My lagging at least is above. Okay, let's go on a 4 hours time frame. We can see. You see, we're playing it. This resistance is clear. Huh? We always playing it with the lagging, like I told you earlier. So it's interesting. I can see my MACD here is above. It starts to get above the 0, which is an indication of people buying more than it used to be, and now we are above our it with the lagging, so that's cool. But we're testing it. So we tested it here on the 7th, and we're testing it again today. So let's see what will happen today if we're going to get above. If we get above it, then what else stop us? Nothing here. As per our view here, our lagging is free to go up to 110. And our candle, if it's above, the same. Go everywhere it wants. We have as a support on the bottom our Tenkan. That makes us sit on it. That's kind of a resistance. It's a good resistance too. We got very close to it our Kijun. So we got a resistance everywhere. If the Kijun keep pushing up, we got a very clear bullish trend. So that's pretty cool. One thing I'd like to show you about the cloud that happens quite often is what we call a twist. I'm not sure I can spot one clearly on this kind of chart. I'm gonna switch on another chart, try to see it. Up. I'm gonna go on a daily because I rather see it on a daily. We don't see it. No, so I don't got the example. But basically what happens is when we see a twist on the cloud, it's easier for our chart to get into it, even for the lagging. So it kind of tells us, okay, something might happen here, you see. Clearly here, we got a twist. The cloud twisted, and we get into the twist here. So here also is a twist, but we are getting away from it, so that kind of, we can ignore it. And if we see another twist happening, we have to be careful. When our chart start to get closer and closer from it, it might get into it. If it's under our chart, it might go into it. If it's above, we might go up into it. So you have to look at this. I think that's it for the moment. If you have question, ask any question you want in the YouTube comments. You can watch other videos I do because I do analysis almost every day on a 1 minute or 3 minutes time frame. If you don't understand exactly all the indicators that you can see, but just rewatch the video. I explained it again. I explained it earlier, and you can always look at Google and other YouTube videos where people explain all the indicators. But me, I'm more into showing you how to do an analysis using the Ichimoku, which helps you to enter your trades on a long or short, depending of what you can see on your screen. So it's the primary use of the Ichimoku for me is to do my trade analysis, and then through my strategy go into my trade. So that's what you should do too. It's not impossible for you to learn. For me, it took a very long time, but you don't want to know how long. You will be getting worried. But if you look at videos like mine, etc., you will learn very quickly. You don't need much time to learn. So go for it. Also, maybe buy some book on Amazon. Just look at the one that sold the most. And read. It's important. It can help. But me, I'm more a visual person, so I would recommend you to watch a lot of YouTube videos. Okay, guys. I wish you a good day, and I see you later. Please like and subscribe. Even put a small comment. If you don't like my accent, just say it. If you don't like the video, you can say it as well. I don't mind. At least it creates some comments. It helps it helps me. All right, you take care. Bye bye.